Wow, welcome back to this video. If you haven't watched my other videos, please check them out. Today is just a freedom of speech dialogue that I have always thought about and never really spoke about, and I feel it might be a good idea just to speak about it today. Now, although I may feel like this or whatever, it's not like a personal thing for myself. It's just outer personal. Like, a lot of people feel the same, and I don't own any of these thoughts or anything. They're just stuff that, like, thoughts go through our head and we're all crazy in the meantime. Let's just get into it. Thoughts on my mind when it comes to tribalism. What tribalism does for people, if it's a necessity in life for a living, and why it actually helps out some communities and why it doesn't. For an example, if you do stuff like that in an area where it would make sense to, like if you go into a community that knows the way that it's meant to work is supposed to be like that, all structured, but without stuff like moving through fluently, making changes every now and then there's no creativity and people start to become stale. And I feel like it's a full-time job to be that type of social creature where you go out there and make changes. Although we are really social, I feel that maybe we're seeing it in a way that we don't understand, that we just do stuff because that's what we feel like we are told to do. Not necessarily because, we feel moral values are allowing us to make a proper decision. Now, when we go into tribalism, there are different ways that people react, and the major one that I feel can hurt people but also benefit them is the one where they do, yes, sort of exclude people and not like deliberately putting them to the side. It's where they know what they have and they can see it right there and they know what works. But just because you know what works up here doesn't mean you don't know what doesn't work. So that's like always having the willingness to try something new, and if you mix those two things together, then it makes sense to me anyways, and to many other people, when it is consistent to be inconsistent to an extent, to a thoughtful decision-making process that you have completed inside of your mind. When we go out there and we see people on YouTube, for an example, someone that has like thousands or millions of followers, we want to see that that person does the best for us, for whatever, and we're letting them make the decision for us. That's when things start to become a little bit bizarre and odd, which I don't really understand. You should allow yourself to have a decision as well too inside of your mind, or a different thought. Like, it makes sense, yes, that we work and we do this, but to make changes inside of that community is a huge benefit. Like, if the music scene was just, for an example, all metal, like, we could love it and it makes sense to us and it works. Although there would be no change in diverse community and the social creature of aspect, you would be denying that as a human being. And everyone has different thoughts and feelings, and no matter where they're coming from, there in the universe are inconsistencies where it is a mathematical process where everything is just sent out there. Like, for an example, if I look at my desk, I have a hair tie, and I have a computer board and mouse, and a controller for my gaming system, and why they're there, and they all make sense to an extent. Like, this is my creativity here. It's always nice to be similar to people, but a little bit different as well too. And that makes stuff go through and just accelerate the process of human social behavior. And my ideas about it, and many others may feel the same. If you have some type of idea or thought in your mind that you'd like to leave in the comments section down below, that is some type of ideal or how you make your decision making process work, like, what do you think is the best decision-making process that you feel can benefit other people that would watch this video in the future, and maybe they can look back at and be like, wow, history repeats itself, or for an example, wow, history was way different from what I really thought it was, and then it makes sense to a lot of people. When we go out there and we go to concerts, we go out there and we follow people, Princess Diana, we go out there and we follow things like the Nelk Boys, we go out and follow things like, I don't even want to say the last one, but maybe one of these things will stop one day. Tragedies happen everywhere, and to go out there and push someone to the edge and essentially just kill them because you want to say hi to them I believe personally, that's an extreme act of violence. It's not just one person doing it. It's a whole fucking community going out there and decimating everyone else around them. Like, and I would say it would be inhumane to say for that all of us have not done something like that whatsoever for the most part. Personally, maybe, I don't know, other people as well. Who knows? They may have done something that they regret harshly. They may have done something growing up that would be seen as something that they should be imprisoned for, and maybe they're making changes, and they have made a change to say that, look, I feel horrible. Because what happens is, if we reside on these negative emotions, these painful experiences, and even if we created them, like, all we're going to do is just sit on them forever. And your mind does remember things, and it will always be there. Although learning to take control of that and move on is something that is of an essence of a new type of whole humanity and a new universe that you hold within yourself, that you can actually have changes appear inside of your own life if you're willing to take one little thread, twist it around your finger, spin it, and pull it in a different direction, and then wrap it around something. Because now what you're doing is just learning, knowledge, experience. You are now gambling with life in a way that is also appreciated with other people. And I believe that is amazing for others to do. Now, when we see people being assaulted or being abused, we should not just let that happen. We should actually do something about it. And for you to say that that's actually happening, and then for you to commit and then actually say, oh, that's like a problem, well, you'll only know if it's a problem if you've actually asked, like, if there is a huge issue behind that, and then to make sure that you did the right decision-making process throughout that. And then that's when you find the right answer to what you were just trying to think about over time when it comes to socially changing yourself or someone else. If we reside on this self-intimate hate that we have inside of ourselves, like, it's a comfort thing, and it's also a destructive mentality inside of us. A lot of people feel like that, and it sort of pisses me off that other people are like that, but then it's like I have the same thing, and it fucking pisses me off that I'm like that too. But fuck people, fuck that, and you know, it's just a bunch of anger and hatred. Like, look, what do you think I got this hat? Because I understand all these fucking dumb things that people talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my other videos. The last few that I made are really amazing. I made one about the haunting of Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill, where I guess it would be like a witch's cat. There's a demon cat haunting it, and, you know, all these white people would kill witches and shit, but then, like, make up folklore stories about a fucking cat. Like, come on, let's be real. Stupid. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos. Peace.